My break.
Hey everyone, this is Rod Roddenbrain. You're listening to Trekcast.
Due to overwhelming fan support and a little movie called Star Trek enjoyed a comeback in 1979.
There's always a silver lining.
Once the movie's performance was evaluated by fans and movie executives alike, it was decided that Star Trek needed a second comeback.
Wait, what was that first part?
To restart the Star Trek movie franchise, a man named Harv Bennett was hired.
Hope. Good old-fashioned hope.
When asked what he thought of the Star Trek movie, he said he was bored by it. That's how Paramount knew they had the right man to make an appropriate sequel to Star Trek.
Nice.
The people at Paramount envisioned a movie with more action, more of a... and less of a... and it would have to be a lot cheaper. It was Bennett who familiarized himself with Star Trek watching episodes of the original series in a projection room.
Oh, my paws and whiskers! I'll be late.
Episode
Drugs.
after episode.
Something wrong.
After episode after episode.
Kink in my back. That's it. A little higher, please. Push hard. Dig it in there, Mr.
What was that? Dude.
Thank you, Yeoman. That's sufficient.
That's where he first saw a man called Khan. Someone who just might have a wrath.
We offered the world order.
You've been a bad boy.
Bennett's perfect villain to bring Star Trek back.
Kapow!
Now fully versed in the characters and the elements that made Star Trek so great, Bennett produced what many fans still consider to be the best Star Trek movie ever made.
It's coming right for us.
The filmmakers were only vaguely aware at the time that another film just might have to address that emotional place the Wrath of Khan had left so many Star Trek fans.
Captain's log. Stardate 8031 in the 23rd century. As commanding officer of the USS Enterprise, I look back on our most recent adventure and realize I could not have asked for a more dependable ship or dedicated crew. Chekhov, Dr. McCoy, Uhura, Scotty, Sulu, and our late comrade Spock, whose heroic sacrifice during our last mission is now deeply felt.
When word leaked that Spock might die, the angry Star Trek fans wrote their letters in.
It kills for pleasure.
Oh no! Star Trek fans, run!
Bennett killed Spock anyway.
Don't grieve, Jim. It's logical.
He was just taking a nap.
Bennett was seen as the producer who saved Star Trek. He had done the impossible and made it successful.
Cha-ching!
He wrote Star Trek III: The Search for Spock while Leonard Nimoy took a hand at directing. Sort of a clever way to have a Star Trek movie without Spock, but with Spock.
Coolio.
We had no choice but to allow the Klingons aboard, which meant the only way to defeat them was to destroy the Enterprise.
When word got out that the Enterprise might be destroyed...
Seriously, that's the loudest sound I've ever heard.
Well, we all know what happened.
Get out of there! Get out!
No, that was the loudest sound you've ever heard.
Totally.
Escaping Genesis, we used the captured Klingon vessel to transport us to Vulcan, where a mysterious ceremony was performed by Spock's people in an attempt to restore his memory.
Spock. Did the ritual work? Did Spock remember who he was? Or did we have to wait for another movie? A movie that would also involve the fact that Kirk had destroyed Starfleet property...
Ooh.
and the punishment that awaited him.
Community service?
Meanwhile, back on Earth, the punishment for our disobedience awaited us.
Hey, I just said that.
We're going to attempt time travel.
Watch where you're going, you dumbass! Double dumbass on you!
It was the wisdom of Harv Bennett and Leonard Nimoy who made Star Trek IV
What's the one with the whales?
the last in a trilogy.
Box set.
And in case you're wondering, Spock came out of it mostly put back together.
Nicely done. What happened to Kirk?
Harv Bennett produced only one other Star Trek film.
Come and get it! Come and get it! Phones! Knock it off! We're right here.
After Star Trek V, he left Star Trek forever. And not because...
I know this ship like the back of my hand.
Or because...
Cybok has simply put us in touch with feelings that we've always been afraid.
I have to get back to the transporter.
And not because...
I couldn't help but notice your pain. My pain? It runs deep. Share it with me.
He left the Star Trek franchise because he had successfully pitched a new Star Trek concept. He left because the concept that Paramount was so excited for and spent a year producing wasn't going to happen. He packed his office and walked away because he had fallen in love with something, and the fan outcry was too great. After so many successes, this was the one time the letters defeated Harv Bennett. Maybe 1991 was too early. Stop, maybe you've heard this one. Young Kirk and young Spock.
New Star Trek?
He wanted to recast the roles with younger actors. He wanted to start them with fresh faces. He wanted to see the two of them in Starfleet Academy. In fact, that was the title of his proposal.
Oh, you're the genius, you figure it out. As acting captain of this vessel, I order you to answer the question.
Letters from fans saved Star Trek from cancellation. Letters created Star Trek the motion picture. Letters from fans couldn't save Spock from certain doom, and letters didn't save the Enterprise.
You will answer me.
Letters from fans did, however, kill what seems to be the inevitable Starfleet Academy movie. And who knows? One produced by Harv Bennett just might have served the original timeline.
Well, now, that doesn't frustrate you, does it, my lack of cooperation?
We have all the power in the world as fans. We just have to make sure along the way we don't get lost.
Wait, what happened to Kirk? Did he get fired?
Bethany Lantis is from Michigan but identifies most with Las Vegas, Nevada, where she is a student of psychology. She's ready for Star Trek when it's just one more part of life to explore.
Jared Formby worked at Star Trek The Experience for 8 years as a Ferengi and a backstage tour guide. He loves oral, Hey Star Trek, as much as he loves getting used to the sound of his recorded voice.
Well, there you have it, another episode in the can.